I think that the biggest challenge for us is we're getting to be quite a big company now. We have over 60 agile teams, all working on different parts of the software, and that's online right down to our back-end systems, our supply chain, our big data analytics teams, and so on. So the challenge will be is how can we ensure that the software we work on hasn't impacted people around us or one of the other 60 teams, and the customer hasn't been impacted. So, historically that's been quite easy because we've had a smaller number of teams, but going forward we'll have multiple teams working perhaps on the same parts of the system, and we need to make sure that we don't trip over each other. So integration is really important, and just getting people to talk about what they're doing and the potential changes and the impacts, and getting other people to appreciate and then think about, okay, if you're making that change, oh, actually that's going to impact us like this. I hadn't thought about that. Let's work together. And that's very hard to get on an email or on a chat. So simply the challenge itself is to get people together to talk about the right quality conversation. And if we can do that, I think the rest will take care of itself. Yeah, but as always, the challenge is everybody's heads down, trying to deliver, and often the time to just be that human being and have that conversation and then see where that leads is often forgotten. So that will be a big challenge for people like me, is how can I make sure that the right conversations are happening, right people are connected, and we're always thinking about our customer in the broader mindset rather than I've done my piece and I'm done. At the top level, of course, issues in production is pretty important, and we measure that, and we have lots of data that comes out in terms of bugs that customers are logging, and even our own people. We have internally we have over 4,500 people who are customers of ASOS, who are always testing, and so internally we have a huge community which is constantly raising issues, ideally before the customer is, because they're using our website constantly, and our mobile apps. We have data that's collated in terms of issues that our customers are raising. We also collect data from social media, so Twitter feeds, Facebook, and so on, which tell us how our customer sentiment is, and naturally we can then tie that back into releases. And if we see, oh, actually there's a quite negative sentiment coming through about this particular feature, we can then link it back to the release that happened and then try and address that. So at the top level, a lot of analytics from the customer that we look at. Internally within the pipeline, we don't, naturally we track failed releases and deployments that don't work, and we try and continuously improve on that. But we do very much take a view of fix forward. So let's see, okay, we found a problem, let's fix it, let's not roll back. And the idea then is you need to have a solid pipeline that enables you to do that. So the metrics within the team, very much on a build release level, not so much on, okay, let's log every possible defect, because what we find is actually by the time you've logged the defect and so on, developers already fixed it. So it's very much in the team. Let's make sure that we hit that quality bar. Let's not worry about, oh, we have to log every possible defect. It's making sure that we hit that bar every time consistently when the time comes to release software into production. And then of course in production we monitor it very closely and make sure that the customers are not impacted.